Welcome everyone to our daily Forex market analysis call, and this is in preparation for trading on September 21st, 2017. Just a quick disclaimer before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. So as usual, we will start off by taking a look at the Forex factory here. So the big thing today was the FOMC statement. So basically what came out of this one was positive. Excuse me. So basically what Fed said was that they are going to start shrinking their balance sheet. There's a lot of, they need to start tightening on the monetary policy. So they're going to start shrinking their balance sheet as well as, so right now they left their interest rate the same. However, they said that they are going to, the Fed's 2 rate hikes this year, decision to begin reducing its bond holdings was a sign of solid economy and the job market. So they were basically positive overall on the market. And they said they are concerned a little bit about the low inflation, but they think it is temporary. So that was a positive sign as well. So they're not looking, they're not saying that they're concerned about the inflation. So that's that. And they also said that they also mentioned the storms or hurricanes that we have had, and that they said the storms are unlikely to affect the national economy over the long run. So basically, in the short period of time, they will have an impact, but in the long run, they're not going to. So that's that. And the next, though, is that they are going to also, they still have the rate hike that is on the tab still. So those were the important things. So those are the three important things. So the two things that we had talked about yesterday was the shrinking of the balance sheet and the interest rate hike. So they actually came out and said that both of those, they were going to start, they will do both of those. So that's the big one. And because nobody was really expecting the Fed to do that, most of the Fed announcements have been negative for the US dollar, because they always, or they have for the most part, just always expressed concern. So this is the first time they're actually been positive about the economy and about, shrinking the balance sheet and tightening the monetary policy. So that's a good thing. So now we are finally in the dollar positive sort of aspect there. So going into our Asian session here, Bank of Japan, so we have another central bank coming up, and they are supposed to come up with their monetary policy as well. So these guys are likely to go from negative to neutral, not in the interest rate hike, but just in their stance. And if that happens, that will be then positive for for Japanese yen. At this point, though, I would not recommend taking any Japanese yen trades overnight, just because it will have an impact on Japanese yen, just like we saw a big impact on US dollar. We're likely to see an impact on Japanese yen. So all Japanese yen crosses are likely to be volatile tonight, overnight in the London session, Asian London session. So I would be careful with that. And then early in the morning, we also have RBA Governor Lau speaking. Again, anytime there is central bankers speaking, that will be problematic. And into the UK session there at 2:30 a.m. Eastern, we're going to see Bank of Japan press conference. So all of these will have an impact on Japanese yen, Australian dollar. So those two, I would recommend to just kind of stay out of those two for tonight. And then we have some public sector net borrowing for British pound, not a red news. So it is important, but not quite as important. And then coming up in the US session, we have unemployment claims, and then we have ECB President Draghi speaking. So we've got 3 central bankers on the tab. So I would recommend caution, just trading overnight. So yesterday, we were not looking at taking any trades because we had FOMC, and usually market doesn't do a whole lot. And we saw that didn't do much. And right now, so we have 3 more. We had 1 today and 3 more on the tab. So expect market volatility tonight. Okay, so getting into the charts, let's take a look at what's going on. So right now, with the positive FOMC, we are finally positive for the U.S. dollar. So basically, we are looking for for all the U.S. dollar crosses to basically drop. In this case, so right now here, what we see for Euro U.S. dollar is we see a full bearish engulfing candle. So we're expecting the price to move lower. So in terms of the target, the first target will be 1.1820 level, and then we're looking for price to go into 1.1780. Now, do keep in mind we have ECB Draghi speaking as well, so prior to 9:30 tomorrow, I would suggest closing any positions if you're taking positions in the Euro US dollar. So here I am looking for, or I was hoping for, a pullback into pivot point. So price has only pulled back a little bit, and this looks bearish. And this is one of the pairs that I actually wanted to trade tonight. But price is moving already. So I'm going to keep an eye on that because it could pull all the way back to pivot point, and that's quite far right now, about 65 pips away. And that's a little bit, that's big stop loss. So let's see if it will pull back. Otherwise, it may be a lost opportunity. But overall, Euro US dollar looks bearish, and we are looking for further move to the downside. My pullback level will be here into pivot point 1.1920-ish level. That will be a nice pullback level. It's also this previous support and resistance here. So that would be a good level to look for. But in case it doesn't, because Fed did come out quite positive. So we are, either way, we're looking for a further move to the downside into 1.1780 level. Pound here, we have big bearish pin bar, and this looks bearish as well. So we're looking for a further move down to the downside in this one, just off of the positive Fed statement here. So in this case, the target we're looking at is 1.3380 level. So this one here. And for this one, looks like we're not pulling back very much. So it's just pulled right here into this previous support and resistance area. We have a nice bearish engulfing candle right now, but do keep in mind it could pull back higher. But this one looks better in terms of stop loss. Euro is weaker between euro and pound. And the next target here is not that far away, but this bigger target of 133.80 or even into 13400, that looks like a good target with not too bad of a risk to return. So basically, it could pull back higher, though. That's what I would just keep in mind, that it could pull back into the pivot point, but it may take into the, we may have to wait till the London session for it to pull back, or it may not go any higher. So we'll have to wait and see how it reacts. But overall, though, we are bearish on pound dollar as well, and looking for a move into 133.80 for this one. Aussie dollar, this one is bearish as well, looking for a move into 79.50 level here. We do have a nice pin bar, but a rejection then, so looking for it to move lower. Now we have RBA coming up in the morning, so that will be something to watch out for. So same thing as in euro here, we did see a bit of a pullback into this previous support resistance area, and now it looks like it wants to move lower. So the target here is 79.50 level, which is this one right about here. So 50 pips from where it currently is. New Zealand, when we have a huge pin and we have a small body, so that looks bearish as well, but overall just US dollar is positive. So as a result, we're looking for a further move to the downside in this one as well. The target here would be 29.50-ish level, right about there. So that's our target. Nice drop, pull back right into pivot. So this one is good, right into pivot, and now we are looking for a further drop right into this area, 72.50. So that looks good. So bearish on New Zealand dollar. Dollar CAD, we have very, very neutral close on this one. So we do have pins on both sides and small candle body in the middle. Overall, though, this is bullish, so it is making making its way to the upside. So the target here is to the upside. So this is bullish to neutral. For now, the target would be 124.20 here. And this would be a place, good place to look for a potential short. However, if the price gets on the other side, then we could see it pull back all the way into this. But I don't think all of that will happen tonight. So the target here is 124.20, and our bias is neutral, bullish to neutral on this one. Euro pound. Euro pound, we have seen a big drop. Right now, euro is more bearish. Nice candle close here. Big drop, pullback, nice candle close on this one. Now we're looking for further move to the downside. The target here would be 87.40. Now, if there are concerns expressed by ECB President Draghi there, then we'll have further problems with euro. However, if Draghi starts talking about reduction in their asset purchase program, just kind of like what FOMC Fed talked about, that will be positive for euro. So that's something we'll have to watch out for. But between euro and pound, euro is weak at this point, so we're looking for a further drop here. And we have a nice bearish engulfing candle as well, which gives us a very nice signal to the downside here. Euro Swiss. Euro Swiss is very neutral. Price didn't do anything. Looks like it may pull back a bit, but not a very strong indication either way. So I'm looking for price to pull back into this 1.500 level, and then we will have to see how price reacts. If it breaks this level, it could get further. It could come down further into the base of this bullish candle here. But for now, it's not very convincing either way. It looks like it may come down a little bit, but we'll have to watch what it does at 1.1500. So two scenarios that could play out. One is, so the two scenarios that we are looking at is price may pull back here and then move up higher. So that's one, or price could just break down and come into the base of this candle right here. So in that case, the target is 1.1450 level, but this 1.1500 will be the first target. John, yes, we are live. Okay, so pound Swiss, let's skip that. I'm marking up the charts there. Dollar Swiss franc looks quite bullish. We are looking for a further move to the upside there. And we are looking at target of 97.60. Looks very bullish, nice bullish engulfing candle. So looking for a further move to the upside. Pound yen here looks bullish as well, looking for a further move to the upside. It's closed right into the highs there. But with the yen crosses, I would say be very cautious because things can change very, very quickly in this one. So the target here is 153.20 level to the upside for pound yen. Euro yen is kind of sideways. It's holding above this previous high, but it's sideways, so may not be the best pair to trade. It could come down a little bit here, and we may. So this is kind of where I'm thinking the pullback may come to if it breaks that 133.20 level. But as long as it holds above 133.20, we are still bullish as long as it stays above this level because it's holding above the previous high, which gives us an indication that it could go up higher. So our first bias will be to the upside, but if it starts to break down below 133.20 level, then we are looking into 132.30 level as the next pullback. But for now, it is holding the highs, so bias is to the upside. Aussie yen, very bullish, looking for further move up into 90.50 level here. So just looking for the next move there. Dollar yen, bullish, and looking for a move into 112, so about 113 level. right into that area there. So 113.00. So dollar yen is bullish as well. Euro Aussie. Euro Aussie seems to be, so this is quite bearish. We are into support though. So I would say caution is warranted. And then we have two central bankers speaking for Euro as well as for Australia. So this could be a little difficult to trade. And right now it may pull back a bit. Here's our pivot point. So I would look for a pullback into this pivot point level at 1.4860 and then potentially look for a drop. So we're looking for this type of a move for a continuation to the downside. So overall, though, this is bearish, but I'm looking for a pullback into this before it drops further. The target will be 1.4680 to the downside on this one. But I think we kind of need to wait for a bit of a pullback there. CAD yen looks quite bullish. We are looking for a further move to the upside, and the target in this case will be 91.60 level, top of this pin here. So that's what I have. Okay, so going back here, I would keep an eye on these crosses and look for some opportunities. So basically what I'm looking for is continuation of the Fed announcement. So positive, Fed came out, so I'm looking for continuation, but before continuation, we are likely to get some pullback. So I like this 1.1900 level, or I like this level, or even this one here, 1950 level. So those are the two levels that I want to watch. So right now I'm not going to take any trade just yet. I would like to see some pullbacks, otherwise our stop can be quite high. So ideally I would like to get into a trade, into a continuation trade with the US dollar. So let's see if we can find an opportunity and see if we can get into that. New Zealand dollar may be a good one to look for as well, but it's pulled back already. So we kind of missed that one. So if it comes back into pivot point, this may be a good opportunity to take here as well, either back into this level here or even into here, back into this support and resistance area. So we just need to be a little bit patient and see if we can get some of these pullbacks, kind of like the dollar CAD trade that we took, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, where it pulled back and then it dropped. So that's the type of thing I'm looking for when Bank of Canada raised rates. So it was positive for Canadian dollar, but we had to kind of wait for the pullback, and it pulled back a little bit more than a little bit, so our stop had to be bigger. So anyways, the trade had worked out for us, so if we can be patient here. So I'm going to keep an eye on it. If I don't send out a trade, do keep an eye on this one. I'll see if we can find a good level to take a trade where our stop isn't crazy. But that's the plan for tonight. Any questions? Okay, so I am not seeing any questions. So perfect. So you guys have a great evening, and I will see you tomorrow then.